Welcome to Life Pebbles. Learn about yourself and others. There are a few phrases insecure people might say out of the blue and seemingly for no reason. Number 1. Do you really need to nitpick everything I do? Imagine you are talking to a friend, you are chatting, and then all of a sudden they mention something, perhaps a controversial opinion, that doesn't quite sit well with you. So what do? Perhaps you speak up and offer your opinion, to which they respond with a major deflective tactic saying, "Do you need to nitpick everything I do?" But why do they respond like this? A study on the insecurity of young people in Nordic Journal found that the most insecure individuals will experience feelings of being threatened and thus resort to a whole range of blame-shifting tendencies. These feelings of perceived threat mean these people are often afraid that any criticism will shatter their fragile self-image. So when you do call them out, even if it's done delicately and gently, they feel somewhat attacked. Then they make it seem like you are the unreasonable or overly critical one for daring to question them. By framing you as the nitpicker, they are steering the conversation, and suddenly you are on the defensive. Number 2, I am sorry I am not good enough for you. People who struggle with insecurity are unable to accept or appreciate themselves. So, what might this look like? Well, it can look like the insecure person in your life saying, "I am sorry, I am not good enough for you." Sure, it's not the most mature thing to pop out in conversation. Plus, it puts the blame onto the other person, but often it speaks to a deeper issues. Perhaps this person is bogged down with feelings of not practicing self-acceptance or appreciation. So they throw out a line like this. Maybe it's a quick fix for feeling inadequate, but it doesn't solve the real problem. Instead, they are blaming you by saying they are not good enough for you. Number 3, you are just jealous of my success. When we are feeling super insecure, there's a tendency to overthink things. We are fixated on the perception of others, eternally worried about how others might perceive us. As such, criticism can feel extremely hurtful. It's because of this, insecurity can often come with narcissistic tendencies, or in other words, an overwhelming and unhealthy need to prioritize oneself. A recent study investigated the surprising link between narcissism and self-esteem. Narcissists are insecure and they cope with these insecurities by flexing. So, what might this flexing entail? It can be anything from the individual asserting they have a job higher up than they actually have, to even living in a bougie part of town that, you know full well, they've never set foot in. Either way, it comes across as off-putting and cringe. They'd rather redirect blame than own up to their mess-ups. All of this is a quick detour from taking responsibility. Plus, it hikes up their ego. Number 4, wouldn't I feel better if you believed in me? In the previous study, researchers expanded on the link between narcissism and insecurity. They found that not only are people with narcissistic tendencies motivated by insecurities, but they will often seek reassurance no matter the emotional toll. This means that if an issue arises with them or they encounter potential failure, they will be quick to deflect blame while also hoping to be validated by saying, "Wouldn't I feel better if you believed in me?" With this, they are clutching at anything for support, and that includes you, my friend. Of course, this person really ought to be building their own confidence instead of relying on yours, rather than outsourcing their self-esteem to you, which is neither fair nor healthy. By focusing on your belief and confidence in them, they are subtly shifting blame if things go south. If you don't believe in them and they fail, well, it's kind of your fault for not having enough faith. Number 5, you are just trying to control me. Believe it or not, social hierarchies permeate everything that we do in life. Sometimes it might feel as if we are all on equal standing, but if you look deeper, you'll notice that while some folks are satisfied with their lot in life, there are others who are scrambled to achieve a higher status. Because of this, if a particular person feels threatened by even a little bit of change, they might interpret various things as being power plays. A 2021 study explored negative attitudes towards women and the role insecurity played, finding that often a lot of insecure people were fearful of any changes in social hierarchies. Instead of embracing and welcoming change, they accuse those around them of trying to control them. It's all just a way to keep their ego intact and maintain their perceived status, a classic safeguarding maneuver of someone who struggles with insecurity. Number 6, if you offered me support, I wouldn't be in this situation. If you know someone who is insecure, you'll know that if they're feeling even a little bit abandoned, they will be quick to be manipulative and shift the blame. They might even try to test your loyalty and use guilt to get what it is that they actually want. A recent US study on insecure attachment found that in most cases, the most insecure people were those who never had a secure family base during their upbringing. Researchers fleshed this out, noting that these folks would often have faced situations where their caregiver as a secure base was compromised. What this means is that they were accustomed to instability in their lives, particularly at a formative age. So, if you are in a situation where you are being fed this line, know to not take it too personally. There's a good chance they are fighting their own demons and seeking validation in a messy, roundabout way. Number 7, you would do anything but help me when I need you. Have you ever had that one friend or family member who always seems to manage to twist things around as if you are the one at fault? In doing so, they might say something along the lines of, "You would do anything but help me when I actually need you." The tricky part with this one is that they are making out like you are capable of helping them. It's just that you are choosing not to. They are also accusing you of withholding help, noting that you are selecting a time when you are abandoning them when they need you the most. Talk about heaping on the blame. Researchers found that insecure individuals, due to their feelings of abandonment and childhood trauma, were often accustomed to having interpersonal relationships devoid of effective soothing capacities. What this translates to is that these people were very much used to not being offered enough support to deal with their issues, which is why they throw out a line like this. A person who is accustomed to consistently playing the victim likely has deep-rooted abandonment issues or never had a secure relationship when growing up. Instead of facing up to their own issues with therapy or a bit of good old-fashioned self-reflection, they pile it onto you, making you feel like you are solely to blame. Comment below if you came across this type of situations. I hope now you have a better understanding of why this is happening to you.